Hello, hello Facebook, hello, and happy Thursday Instagram. Today we are diving into the 5 mistakes to avoid during your sales conversations. I did a quick reels on this, and I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but I have been doing like reels, little strategy methods you can start implementing pretty quickly into your business. So today I do want to talk about the reels I recently did today that just posted on the 5 mistakes to avoid, the 5 no-nos during your sales conversations. So this is for people who are offering service-based businesses, service solutions. If you are a coach and offer coaching programs. Hi Jessica, I hope you and baby are well. Also, if you have like an online business, digital services, and you enroll people into your program, you guys, these 5 mistakes is something you want to take note of and to not do during sales conversations, okay? So we're gonna just dive in to these 5 mistakes that I did on my reels, and we're going to go into the gray areas. What does that really mean, and what you can really push the envelope on when it comes to the different types of roles. Okay, so number 1 when it comes to sales and sales calls is number 1, you don't want to offer coaching on the actual sales call. Now, this is what I learned when my first year in business, where I did like 112 strategy calls. I was actually offering coaching on the calls to prospects that didn't even buy from me. I was like literally offering it to them, and it didn't go anywhere. So this is like a huge rule to not do. To not offer coaching during the actual enrollment call. Now, there is a difference between painting the vision of what it would look like if they had the solution that they need to meet their goal, right? That is what you want to do instead of actually giving them the tips and the strategies. You want to give them the vision and paint and imagine what it would look like if you did have the solutions towards the problem you had. And that's what I encourage people to do instead. Instead of offering coaching, you want to have them paint the vision of what it would look like to have the problem, the challenge solved. Okay, so don't offer coaching. And one of the things about offering coaching on strategy calls is that it almost feels right. There's like this mistake, you think that, well, you know, they have a problem. What am I going to do? Just let them be and end the call with not really helping them? Having the call with the prospect is helping them. That is number 1. Number 2, it is about them knowing that they have a challenge. They have a challenge that needs help. Okay? And if you give them all the strategies on the call and then they hang up with you and they go try to do it on their own, the problem with that is it gives them the false sense of fixing the thing. Now they can go do the thing on their own and fix the thing. But the problem with the kind of work we do is that they are now left to their own thought process. Now they are left with their environment, right? Maybe their environment isn't supportive of what they're doing, and they're trying to implement this strategy by themselves, and they don't have the proper support system. They may not even know the entire plan, and they're just, you know, taking pieces of the system you gave them, and they're trying to implement it and enact it. However, there's holes in it, therefore the result is not going to be the same had you properly enrolled them into the program. Now they're in the roadmap. Now they're following the roadmap along with the support that you would provide them, right? Because 20% is the strategy. 80% is mindset, and 80% of mindset is also connected to, Jessica, makes sense, exactly. 80% of mindset is connected to the support system you have to help you with your mindset. in being able to implement the strategy. So don't offer coaching because it gives them the false sense of relief. However, it doesn't last long, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Number 2, don't do video sales calls. Now, if there's a thing with that, for example, I am in the US, doing business online is that you would meet people internationally. And in that, you kind of cannot get away from doing video sales calls because that's the way you would talk to them. You'd probably do a Zoom link. You'd probably do like Google Hangouts, right? Hey, Patty, hope you're well. And in that, you have to turn on your video. Otherwise, it's going to be this weird, awkward, one person with the video and then the other one is not. So there is that weird, like, do I turn on my video or not? And I would recommend, if it is an international call, to do the same that the other person does. 20% strategy, 80% mindset, absolutely. See, that's the gray area. The gray area is that not every single person you'll be able to speak on a cell phone. There's going to be moments where my second client was from London. She literally lives in London. So we had to talk on our Zoom call. It was a Zoom call, it was a strategy call, and it was Zoom. And that was my second client into my business, into my program, right? So that is the gray area when it comes to video sales calls. However, if your person is in the same area as you, that you can actually speak with them on the phone, then that is when this rule applies. It applies where you can actually have a mobile cell phone conversation. That way it takes away from them visually judging you, because this is what will happen. People will visually judge you during the sales calls, and sometimes we might blink wrong on the sales call and then you lose the sale. All right, so instead of like the whole removing the judgment part, make it an audio call if possible. All right, number 3 is don't take calls that didn't go through your client attraction system. What does that mean? Okay, if you are my client, Patty, we're setting up your client attraction system. You got your, how do people book appointments with you? Do they get an About Me page? Do they answer a set of questions? What is the process in which your prospects go through in order for them to get on the phone with you? And that process needs to be set in place before they book an appointment with you. So the reason why this is a rule is because, hi Colleen, I hope you're well, is because there are times where I had a client, she was an accountant, okay, she went to the gym a lot, and she would literally book appointments at the gym while she was working out. She was working out, doing a strategy call. Oh, Colleen, you're at the ER. I'll call you after the live. I hope you're okay. Because that's just text me after. Love you. Okay. Well, that's can you please let me know if just message me if you're okay. That's kind of distracting. All right, let me just do this quickly. So, she would literally book appointments during her workout. She was on a treadmill one time, and someone was like, hey, I have a question about your service. Can we talk about that? And she's literally like, sure, right? Next thing you know, her workout turns into a strategy call. She can't really work out because now she's trying to sell herself, sell her services in workout gear, right? Sweat and bullets, trying to work out, get her exercise on. You see how all of that just does not align for a service-based business that is professional. You have to have a process in which people who want to know about your services, there is a sequence of events before they talk to you. Okay, and if you don't have a sequence of events yet in place, that means there is a lot of people that fall off in the middle. So your ability to convert them into a client probably is bad, because I'm going to say the word bad. not effective, not converting, not profitable, okay? Because these sequence of events actually turn them into a buyer. They will now make a conscious decision, Jessica, okay, we need to get that in place for you. That process you have will allow for people to make a conscious decision on whether they want to buy from you or not. So once you get on the phone with them, they've already made a decision. You know, they've already made, okay, I am 80% there. And then the 20% call, the 20% is like the call where they kind of fill you out and like you or not like you. That's really the decision, right? Like you or not like you, because a lot of people want to, they energetically make a buying decision. They don't make a decision based on logic. We all want to believe that we make logical decisions that are like, that make sense, or that all of these things. However, it is more connected to, do I like this person, and do I see myself working with this person, and do I see myself energetically liking the moments we have, and will I get an energetic profit out of it? Okay, and I'm speaking more to like intuitively. You might not even realize you buy this way. You might not even realize you buy this way. I spoke with a new client today. She told me, hey, I spoke with someone, and she gave me a lot of feedback, and it was feedback she needed to have. But it was really hard to swallow. Like, the way she was saying it was mean, probably judgmental, very critical. Her delivery was like harsh, right? And she told me, you know, it was really valid information, really great feedback. However, I don't want to work with that kind of person. You see how it's in an energetic alignment. It has to be like a nice energetic profit, right? So when you don't allow people, when you allow people this ability, this system, they go through a system, that means you're making it easier on yourself when you're on the phone with them. It's literally taking away all the pressure of like, do you know me? You know, this is what I do. Like, you don't got to do none of that because you already set it up, okay? So Jess, we got to get that set up for you, because you're probably, you know, you have your system, and it might need some tweaking, a little bit of like adjusting a little bit, and then from there things are going to just start working out like clockwork. All right, rule number 4, guys, is don't negotiate terms of service. Okay, this is a great one, because I only say don't negotiate terms of service with people that you don't align with. So what does that mean? You, as a creator of your program, someone who renders the service, you are an expert at what you do. You will know who your ideal peoples are. The moment you see them, hear them, the moment you feel their energy, you know whether you'll like working with them or not. And for those that you energetically know you are not going to enjoy working with, I don't recommend moving and maneuvering your services and your terms of service around for them. That is one thing. So I would go off of the energy you get. Do I like this person? Do I feel like when I work with them it's going to be energetically profitable? You see, I'm speaking energy wise, because energy is a lot, right? Energy is what moves us in the day. So whatever we allow into our space, we have control over, right? So we can literally make a conscious decision on the clients we say yes or no to. So let's say you have someone that is like, listen, I had a client, I think it was like my first year, she signed on with me for 3 months, paid me in full, and she found out she was pregnant. All right, like 2 weeks later. These are the kind of things where it's like, well, let me take a look at what we can do, because number 1, you paid in full. That tells me your commitment. Number 2, we only have a short time together, which means, you know, the chances of us being able to work this through while you're pregnant is probably unlikely, because, you know, being pregnant is a lot. Like, you're going through so much changes, your mindset's going to be off, and you're going to need some time to actually just be like, oh, I don't want to do nothing today. You know, those are and I am sensitive to that, because I've done my share of stuff like that twice. Okay, so that was when I had to decide, okay, I like the person I'm working with. I do energetically align with them. She's very committed since she paid me in full. And she didn't plan for this. So this is where I get to negotiate a little bit. Okay, here, this is what you got. We can do this much. We can pause things, right? Well, what we ended up doing was we paused it, and then she returned back to me, I think it was a year later, right? After she had the baby, kind of got in the groove of being mom. And then that's when we came back to work. However, if it wasn't an energetically aligned thing, I would have severed that contract. I would have said, listen, this is probably not the best time. How about we do this, right? And then when you are ready, come back to me later, like in the future, right? So like you can really negotiate the terms, but it's all based on the energetic exchange you get with the person, how committed they are, how aligned they are with you, and how you feel when you work with them. Do you feel energetically profitable? Okay? All right, that's rule number 4. Rule number 5, and this is the last one, is to not let them take over the conversation. Now, there is a difference between being a good listener and letting someone just fucking talk their ass off. Okay, there's a difference, because that was one of the biggest things I did. I think I did 2 strategy calls that were all video. They were all video strategy calls. And this is in the beginning where I didn't know anything about nothing. I just was like, listen, let's just have a conversation on video. Biggest mistake, number 1. And then the second one was this person just kept talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And I didn't have like stoppers. I didn't have the right questions to stop them and to move them in the direction that I wanted them to go towards. And in the beginning, I didn't know what that direction looked like. Well, what direction am I even moving them to, right? Well, it's the buying direction. It's the direction where it's like, let's take action. That's the direction you want people to move towards. You don't want them to go so heavy into their story and then forget, hey, I'm on the phone with you so that we can solve this. So there's a difference though. I don't want you guys to talk to people and then like you be the talker. I want you to talk to people with the intention of listening to their problem, really making that connection heart to heart. That's one of the biggest things that I want as salespeople, to listen with your heart and not with your mind. Because with your mind, you have biases, you have ego, you have money, you have greed in your mind. I want you guys to listen from your heart. And when you listen from your heart, you actually know how to talk to people, ask questions, and you can still let them talk, but don't let them run the conversation, okay? You want to ask questions that are provoking to the problem and that pushes them to make that buying decision. I hope that makes sense. So don't let people run the conversation, okay? Ask questions that are relevant to making a buying decision. So a question, I'll give you one. What would it be like if 12 months from now, you don't have your solution? So 12 months from today, so July 21st, 2023, right? Next summer, we're still in the same place. How would that feel like for you? And then then this is when you let them speak. And then if they want to speak and speak and speak about this, let them, because you guided them to this place. That is how you move the conversation into more of a decision-based conversation. All right, I hope that helps you guys. Okay, so rundown. Number 1, I'm just going to do a quick rundown. Number 1 is to don't offer coaching about their challenges. Number 2, don't do video sales calls unless there's absolutely no other way, like international calls, you have to do that, right? Don't take calls that didn't go through your system, like your lead attraction system, right? So there needs to be some sort of system before they get on the phone with you. It has to be set up, okay? Then number 4, don't negotiate terms of service only if they don't align with you. Now, if they align with you, they vibe with you, they're your people, they're your community, I would recommend to, buffer a little bit, give a little bit, but only if it is aligned, okay? Rule number 5, last one, is don't let them take over the conversation. Make sure that you are asking questions that allow them to make a decision towards a solution. So don't just let them run the show and talk about their dog or their thing they bought at IKEA. All right. Okay, guys, so that is it for me today. I just wanted to give you guys these amazing mistakes to not do, because these experiences I had, you know, with sales calls, I want it so that it's easy for you guys when it's time for you guys to start selling your stuff. You are ready to go, you're prepared, you know how to handle it, and your conversion rate is higher because you've been able to navigate in a way that works and is profitable. So if you guys need help, you know where to find me, and I will check you guys back. I'll be back live next week, and have yourselves an amazing day and weekend. Mwah. Facebook. All right, guys, have a great day.